Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Let me see if I have.
Okay, you're on now.
All right. I have some stuff on my. Okay, got it. Good morning, everybody. Here I am. I'm Chef Max. Welcome to the Urban Kitchen. I'm back with another little delicious treat for you guys. I know last time we did a salad, so we're gonna beef it up a little bit this week. So let's go over what we're gonna be doing. I do wanna start introducing you guys to more cooking skills. So if you guys have any questions about how I'm cutting anything or just, you know, any of the cooking process, please let us know. So today we're gonna be making a Hawaiian pulled chicken barbecue sandwich. Really flavorful. It's gonna have a really nice slaw on it, nice and light. And then we're gonna be making our own vinaigrette with some fresh pineapples, a little bit of vinegar, some honey, some mayo. I'm gonna add a kick of sriracha just to give it a little spice. So I got some good stuff for us. Our protein for today is gonna be a lean chicken breast. But like I said, this is a pulled chicken sandwich. So I've already finished my pulled chicken. I'm gonna show you guys how to go ahead and start that. I use a pressure cooker, but feel free to use a Dutch oven or any type of pot that you have that you can put a lot of liquid in, at least 4 quarts. So let's go over some of our ingredients outside of our chicken breast. We're gonna be using not this whole head of cabbage, but we're gonna a nice portion of the green and the red cabbage. We have some shredded carrots here, some fresh pineapples. We have some garlic. You can use any barbecue sauce of your choice. We like Sweet Baby Ray's over here. I do I think it's Stubbs, but it's a little spicy for this recipe. And then I have some mayo season that we're gonna be using to poach our chicken or boil it. We're gonna use our spice blend, the Kinders. I think I've used this before. This is a really good blend. You can get this really like any local grocery store now. At first, I was only seeing it at Vons and Sam's Club, but now they have progressed. So we're gonna use this, and we're gonna use a little bit of this barbecue seasoning. I got this at an Asian market called H Mart. It's in Koreatown, but you can use any barbecue season that you have at home. If you have anything that has chipotle or any kind of smoked flavor, you can go ahead and throw that in. I have some garlic powder, some paprika here for color, and then I also have a half of white onion. The white onion and the garlic is going to be used to kind of, you know, cook and fuse with our chicken. I'm going to go ahead and check on my chicken. I've had it cooking in the pressure cooker for about 1.5 hours now. So I'm going to go ahead and check that out, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do that process. Awesome. So I just want to make sure that I'm able to use 2 forks and pull my chicken together apart. Bring it over here so you guys see it. So it's really hot. Show you guys how that looks. All right. So let's go ahead and start with our protein, since it's going to take a while for that to cook. Okay. So if you're cooking this at home and you don't have a pressure cooker, like I said, you can use a Dutch oven or any pot that you can fit 4 quarts of liquid in. So I'm going to use this pot so I'm able to show you guys. Just to kind of speed the process up, if you would like, you can chop your chicken down into cubes and then go ahead and do that, just so it kind of, you know, it's already cut down. But if not, you can just throw it in there and it'll go ahead and simmer down. So I'm gonna get my half a white onion, peel that. I have like 3 knives out today. I really don't have any out. Okay, so we're just gonna give it a nice julienne. Let me move this so you guys are able to see. So if you guys are just joining us, or if you guys are been with us, you know, I like to give you guys terms, cooking terms that you guys can use. So this is julienne, which is a very thin cut, which you see with like fajita mix with your onions and your bell peppers. So we're gonna do the same to this onion. All right. And then we're gonna get garlic cloves. Now you don't have to mince the garlic. It's just adding as what you would call aromatic at this point. It's not gonna be really, consumed. Okay, so we're gonna add this with a little bit of olive oil. To our pot. It's directly on. And then we're just gonna let those saute for a second on the stove. So, sorry about that. So we're just letting this saute down for a second. While that's going on, we're gonna go ahead and season up our chicken, okay? So like I said, we're gonna I've already washed and cleaned my chicken. Make sure you guys clean your chicken. Last video, I showed you guys how to clean your chicken with vinegar or any type of acid. Kind of helps to get all of those, all of that, poison or the salmonella off, okay? So I've already cleaned my chicken. I'm gonna season it now lightly, not too much. I'm gonna make sure we do that back and front. Right, get a little bit of our garlic powder. And I would season this about maybe 1 teaspoon. You don't want to add too much salt because we're going to add the chicken stock, which has a lot of sodium, okay? And we're going to cut that with a little bit of water because we want to make sure that we cover the chicken breast, okay? So let's go ahead and check on our vegetables over here. They should be sauteing. They're nice and translucent. And the point of this is you want to be able to bring the flavor out in your chicken, right? Because that's going to be the star of the dish. So the onion is going to add to that once you start ripping it apart. Okay. So anytime you're sauteing vegetables, you want to always add a little bit of salt. Now we're going to go ahead and add our chicken breast in. Okay. Start with this. Okay. So this is not a full container. I'm gonna go ahead and measure out 2 cups. Okay. So you want to use about 2 cups of chicken broth to 2 cups of water, okay? So that's gonna go directly in. I'm gonna get 2 cups of water. And like I said, you wanna make sure your chicken breast is completely covered, okay? And then you're gonna add your 2 tablespoons of paprika for color. We need our chicken to have some color. So halfway through this cooking process, we're gonna add some barbecue sauce, right? Because the point of this is to be a pulled barbecue chicken sandwich. So I've already done that to this. I'm gonna let this sit just a little bit. And right now we're gonna go ahead and start cutting our vegetables down for our slaw. Excuse my salad bowl. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and give these a nice rinse. I like to use red cabbage a lot. I buy it probably like every other week. It goes far. I like to use it on my tacos, my salads a lot. It's a nice garnish. Just depending on how you eat at home. But I really do like to incorporate it in my salads a lot. Now, cabbage can give you gas, but any raw vegetable can do that. So this is a really good crunch. I just like the crunch of cabbage. I really like how I see the ready mix salad packs that incorporate the cabbage slaw or the broccoli slaw. So let's go ahead and talk about our cabbage. So I cut it in half. Now you always know it's a core right here. So I don't want to chop this all the way down, but I do want to kind of go down about 3/4 of the way, right? And then the middle, I just want to stab it and then pull down. That's going to allow me to take out the core, just like that, right? Put that over to the side. I'm only going to use 1/2 of this. I'm going to cut that in half. Okay, reserve that to the side. Now, the first 2 leaves are kind of like wilted and dingy because they've been exposed to the sun and in the grocery store. So you want to definitely discard that. And then let's check on our chicken just a little bit. Make sure you're cooking your chicken on the simmer, low and slow, okay? Now, we're gonna cut this as if we were gonna have it, you know, shredded like a coleslaw, okay? So you're gonna do small slices all the way down and shred the cabbage. All right. Directly into our bowl, break it up with our hands. I'm gonna make sure it's nice, very thin pieces, right? If you have some ones that are left, just go ahead and give them a rough chop. You're gonna do the same thing with the red cabbage. You're gonna peel those layers off. Cut it in half. Ooh. A little thick. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna cut it 3/4 of the way down on each side. And then we're going to stab it across the middle and pull down. Take out that core. Half this again. And then we're gonna shred this. I don't think I'm gonna use as much red as I did green, so I'm only gonna use about half of that. Same thing, and just shred it down. Now I like to take a paper towel and just kind of dab my red cabbage because it has a tendency to bleed, and we don't want it to bleed all over the red. I mean, excuse me, the green cabbage. Okay, so we'll grab a paper towel. Just get that off of there. It's like a really pretty indigo purple though. I love the color of this. Beautiful. So anyway, add that in. Okay. All right. All right. Now, I already have the carrots that are pre-shredded. We're gonna add about 1/2 cup of these. My measuring cup. Got 1/2 cup. I think that'll do well. We're gonna toss those together, those nice colors. And now we are going to work on our dressing, all right? I'm gonna give my measuring cup a rinse because I'm gonna need it. All right, guys, let's make this Hawaiian slaw. Oh, I almost forgot our pineapples. So I have some fresh pineapples here, but if you're at home making this recipe, you are more than welcome to use canned pineapple or crushed pineapple, whatever pineapple that you have. You definitely would like to reserve the juice. So I'm gonna go ahead and reserve this juice for my salad dressing for the slaw. Okay. Then I'm gonna take about maybe like a half a cup, and I'm gonna go ahead and just rough chop it down. And this goes directly into our slaw. Now we can work on the dressing. Sorry about that. So we need to at least get about 4 ounces. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my mayo. I'm not a fan of mayo. I am only a fan of mayo when it's being mixed with other things. And that means like mustard and so forth. I just, I don't know. And then when I was growing up, my aunt, she would use Miracle Whip. My mom would use mayo, and they would like go back and forth about what tastes better and who tastes better, but they both nasty. So anyway, let's go ahead and get some mayo. I'm gonna use about 4 tablespoons, just about 4 big tablespoons. We're going to use 2 caps of vinegar. If you're at home and you don't have white vinegar, I would actually rather apple cider vinegar, but I did not have any. So that's that. Let me grab my sriracha. We are going to add 1 tablespoon of sriracha, just a little bit in there. All right. And our pineapple juice, we're going to add all of that. And then we're gonna start whisking. Yum, yum, yum. All right, you wanna make sure you are giving this a really good stir. It should break down like a salad dressing. Nice consistency. And of course, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of honey just to thicken it up. And salt and paprika. And pepper. Okay. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of paprika. Teaspoon of salt. And this is seasoned black pepper. It's basically a little bit of like red pepper flakes, a little bit of garlic, but it's seasoned black pepper. I think I've used this in a prior video. You can get this at your local grocery store, or you can use regular coarse black pepper at home. Season that up. Make sure we incorporate that, whisk it. And we always want to taste our food before we eat it. So I'm gonna get a tasting spoon. Make sure we added enough seasoning. So we're looking for in between sweet and salty taste. Not too much of the salty, but more of the sweetness, obviously, because we have the pineapple in there and the honey. Perfect. Yum. So we're gonna put all of this on top of our coleslaw mix. And then we are going to toss that with some tongs to start my spoon. Make sure you mix this all around. Yum. All right. So I'm gonna let this chill in the refrigerator until we're finished pulling apart our chicken. All right, I am back. Okay, so my chicken, like I said, I had stewed it for about 1.5 hours. So the one that I just started with you guys, let's check on that. Make sure we lower our fire a little bit more. And if you notice some of your liquid is cooking out, you can go ahead and add another cup of water. Just make sure you continue to cover your chicken, okay? So I'm gonna add another cup of water or 2. Now, don't worry about drowning out the flavor because we're gonna adjust that with the barbecue sauce, and we're gonna adjust it once we add the barbecue sauce to the liquid, okay? All right. Now, I'm gonna drain off some of my liquid because I didn't with the colander. My husband does my dishes. All right, so we're gonna drain off this liquid. All right. And you want to get you a little container or bowl to pull apart your chicken. I'm going to use this bowl right here. Now, I wanted to use the colander and make sure that I reserve my onions, right? Put my onions back in my bowl. And I'm going to get my 2 forks that I'm going to be pulling apart my chicken with and get that out. Oh, it's falling apart, which is a great sign. Now, got our garlic, our onions, everything. Now, also would like to make sure that we add some more barbecue sauce. I have one that's open, but it's super cold. So, are you guys those people that like the condiments in the refrigerator or out? Because like I like cold ketchup. My kids don't. I like cold barbecue sauce. They like hot barbecue. I don't get it. Anyways, you want to give this a generous amount. So I'm gonna put about 1/2 cup. And then I'm gonna get to pulling. So you wanna make sure you're pulling it apart. You can have 1 fork hold the larger part of the chicken down while you're pulling, and you're pulling, and you're pulling. And my kids really like this. I make this for them for after school snack, little sliders. They really like the Hawaiian buns. Kind of adds a little bit more sweetness, you know, to the chicken. Gonna keep on pulling till we have all small shredded pieces. Okay. And you can do this recipe with pork. I've done that as well, pulled pork sandwiches. You can also make chicken tacos like this, taquitos, brisket. There's a lot of different ways to braise and pull down meat, various recipes, okay? So my chicken has been all the way shredded down. I'm gonna add a little bit more barbecue sauce, okay? I like mine to taste like something. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my tasting spoon, make sure it's to my liking. Awesome blossom. All right, we're almost finished here. So the star of the show. Bun. So I can't eat a burger if it's not like in a grilled bun. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna grill that bun. So I'm gonna get a pan out. Check over here. All right. So you can get you a skillet at home. I'm gonna get that on. Get me some butter. because I want to toast it. And I'm going to put me some butter down in that pan like we're making a grilled cheese. And we're gonna get these buns grilled up. You can even make these with slider if you get the Hawaiian slider rolls from the grocery store. Those would be great. Nice little snack in the afternoon. Make you a lot of this, put it in their freezer, take it out for a different occasion. So I love to plan ahead with meals. I have 3 kids. They all eat different but the same. Just kind of depends. Like my kids don't really like fast food. They like for me to cook. So last night I had made some, well actually 2 weeks ago, I made some really good meat sauce. And my son, he's 3, so he loves spaghetti like every little kid. Let me put my butter down because I'm running my mouth. So I'm gonna get a little slither of butter, put it down. And we're gonna grill our buns. Get 2 at a time. And let those toast for a moment. I'm gonna get us a plate out. Right. So anyways, like I was saying, so I had made a lot of spaghetti sauce because my 2 youngest, they love spaghetti. And I didn't feel like cooking yesterday. So when I left the house, I was like taking that spaghetti sauce out that I froze. And they have spaghetti and salad. So my point is, it's good to make meals, as my mom calls them, stretch meals. My mama, gotta love her. You know, my mom, she grew up in a household, it was 4 of them. My grandparents, they're from New Orleans, you know, very Southern. And they grew up, you know, with 4 kids in LA back then. My grandfather, he used to be a chef in the Navy. And then he owned a restaurant, used to be called New Orleans West. It was on 48th Street. Anyway, they grew up eating a lot of red beans and rice. And it's so funny, because I remember going to my grandparents' house when I was younger, and they always had red beans and rice. Like my grandma would have it in the refrigerator, just like as a tropical dime. And I used to be like, hey, you know, I can't stand grandma eating these red beans. But I get it because it's a stretch meal, you know, and it goes good with a pork chop, a piece of chicken, you know, a sausage. So my point, I'll make red beans and rice now when I'm like trying to get a meal for 2 days and, you know, just thinking about, you know, when I was growing up, okay, we're gonna make sure they're nice and toasted. Gonna get some nice brown color on it. So move that one out. Gonna toast my last one. I'm gonna make 2 of these little jumpers. I'm gonna feed somebody today on the way out. All right, get these last 2 down. So anyway, I make red beans and rice when I need a stretch meal. It's a lot of meals that my grandfather used to make that are like my choice favorites. Maybe recipes. But red beans and rice is like one of my signatures. I love it. We should do that. I will give you guys some of my red beans and rice because it's amazing. Okay. So anyways, you want to learn, you know, meals that stretch. Like I said, this can take you into chicken tacos, taquitos. You can do pulled pork. It's a lot of different things. So I hope you guys, you know, take some of the information that I give you when you're having like a day where you're trying to cook something new, but you really don't know what. You know, think about one of our videos or some of the suggestions that I made on a video. Might come in handy. All right, I got some really good stuff coming up for you guys. So I have our buns ready. I'm gonna grab our coleslaw, it's probably nice and chill. We wanna make sure that dressing's soaked into it. This will go great with a corn on the cob that I have in the refrigerator. All right, so first, you know, it's one of those things, like what goes first, the slaw or the meat? The meat goes first. So we're gonna put make sure I got my buns on the right side. All right. Get a nice portion of our pulled chicken. All right, not too much. This bun smells amazing. And a little more. Got our onions in there. Yum. Then we are going to top it off with our beautiful pineapple slaw. And tomorrow I will send the slaw separate because I don't want you guys to have a soggy burger. Make sure you get some pineapple on there. Yeah. And then we're gonna top these bad boys off. And look, you made a whole sandwich in like 30 minutes. Look. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed our video and our talk today. I gotta run my mouth. And I will see you guys the week after next. And I hope you guys enjoy your burger tomorrow. You guys have a great week. Thank you so much.